Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sunique and I have an unboxing here from the Luminarium store in America from Tegan Turner. So let's just open it up. Yes, it's come all the way from America. Okay, so we have a thank you sticker for supporting my small business in pink tissue paper and packing material. Walking paper. Oh, and we have a bag for the cards. And the cards are not in a tuck box, they are loose. There we go. So it's been stamped. And here's the deck. These are the backs. And this is the Luminarium Journey Tarot. And it's a misprint version, so it was at a reduced price. But unfortunately, I think the shipping was just as much as the price of the deck. So let's have a little look. A little skull here. There's like an angel reaching up. Oh, two figures reaching up here. And we've got a moon. Got like an eye type figure. Oh, God, they're so lush. Okay, so this actually comes with a PDF download, not a guidebook. So I've just separated the deck into its component parts, and I found we have a card here that is to be used with a pendulum. So we go yes, no, maybe, ask again, maybe, ask again, yes, yes, no, no. So if you use a pendulum, that could be useful. And then there's this card here. And this is called the meditation, colour breathing. And it takes 10 minutes to do this meditation. So there's an information page on how to use this card. So for instance, when you are in that meditative state, then you start to look at maybe the red and breathe that into your mind. And you continue as you move up these discs. So that's an interesting aspect to this deck. So let's have a look at the major cards. And just looking at the PDF, it seems that they all have astrological correspondences. Now, whether that aligns to the Golden Dawn, I'm not sure. I'll check later in my little book of Golden Dawn associations. But I've got a feeling it will. So let's start with the Fool. So this association is with Uranus. And there's a title for the card. So this is the one who chooses. And it's about the conscious universe manifesting into an unconscious reality. The Fool symbolises the start of a journey into the unknown. Embrace new beginnings and trust the unfolding path. Remember, all things are a matter of perspective. All experiences are interpretations of attitude. And then we've got three keywords, which is autonomy, impulses, and observations. So here our Fool is getting a higher perspective. Purposely, they're climbing up into this hammock, and they've got a box of something there they've left behind. There's a little sailboat going forward. It looks like a little frog maybe there. Lots of little things in this image to explore. But how on earth they got up into that hammock, I have no idea, because they seem quite a long way from the ground. So instead of being on the side of a cliff, they're actually climbing up to get that higher perspective. And that's represented also by this bird here that can see far into the distance. And then the Magician. Magician looks like he's stepping into a library. And what's this in their hand? There are no clues in the guidebook or the PDF book that I've got as to what's going on here. So it is open to interpretation. I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's a cosmic egg. But yes, this is Magician, and it looks to me like he's going into some sort of a library, possibly. And the Priestess, who's got all the books around them. The moon here. Oh, that's a beautiful image, isn't it? Priestess is looking into the ether, I suppose. So they've got intuition and knowledge. They have both. Oh, the Empress, beautiful Empress, who seems to be on a cloud, hovering above this sort of crescent moon here. But there are steps there. So is the Empress coming down to Earth, looking over the Earth that they protect. Even got a halo for the Emperor. A very pointy beard. Hierophant. Isn't that an interesting Hierophant card? Now, I've seen Hierophants before in tarot decks that have got masks on, but this is a stage performance, isn't it? We've got an artist here, a mask of an older gentleman, and maybe a child. And then we have this curtain here. And it does appear to be staged. So maybe that's the message there. This is a staged energy. Lovers. And I like this because it shows how the brain influences us in our choices. I like that. So we've got a different title now for card number 7, which is normally the Chariot, isn't it? So this is now called the Great Way. Another really interesting image. The title of it is The One with Direction. And the zodiac sign is Cancer. The Chariot is assigned to Cancer. There's a little angel up here. The Great Way is the mind's full concept of the big picture, the seeker's ideal reality of the soul to live within. And then the phrase, all directions lead to the Great Way. The dream is the destination. Imagination is the tool. Keywords are journey, perseverance, and scope. So instead of justice, we have equilibrium. So this would be card 11 in a Rider-Waite-Smith. In Marseille, they're an 8. So we've gone back to that numbering system there. We've got this angel weighing the feather against the heart. The Sage for the Hermit. Still got a lamp. Very concentrated effort there. Fortune. So that's a different Wheel of Fortune type card, isn't it? We've still got this sort of round energy here. Well, I'm not sure if this person here is dropping these maybe coins down to the one underneath. And there seems to be a tent here. And I think, yeah, there's a person with the head in the tent. Well, that's very strange. Passion instead of strength. We still have the Lion and the Maiden. It looks really esoteric, doesn't it? And it's titled The Vulnerable One. It's still Leo. The passion is within the body, the container for the mind. The seeker uses passion as endless energy and willpower. And the phrase, want to use the natural powers of passion, want to master the strength. Keywords, strength, magic and willpower. I would love a more comprehensive guidebook for this deck, I must admit. Hanging Man. This mirror's upside down. It is, isn't it? And why have we got a fish? Well, the Hangman is associated with water, the element of water. So that might be why that's so. Oh, what a beautiful death card. Oh, that is gorgeous. Took my breath away a little bit there. The Alchemist for Temperance. The Pans instead of the Devil. And they're being held up here by mortals, I think. Yeah, mortals holding up the gods. This is sort of Dionysus sort of energy there. The Pans, spirits of fear dance obliviously over self-imposed practicality. The seeker has a tendency of taking the experience too seriously. The phrase, fear can be transformed. And it's about controversy, debauchery and fear. Sometimes it's challenging to just let go and enjoy, isn't it? It is for me anyway. It's like, we have to conform. Been taught to conform. Anyway, the Tower, red flag. Watch for those red flags, eh? The Star. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. So look how the elements have combined here to make something beautiful. Oh, I like that. And it's all contained. Moon. Again, the head's detached on both of these figures. The sun, oh, isn't that glorious? Oh, that is glorious. And liberation instead of judgment, sort of going across the rainbow bridge, as we sometimes refer to, passing over, going into the light. And then the universe. Isn't that amazing? How we're all connected to everything. That is beautiful. Oh, there's a lot to unpack, isn't there, in this deck? Anyway, that was the majors. Let's have a look at the minors. And so what I've done is separated the suits so we can look at them together. It has gone a bit dark, I'm afraid, but hopefully you'll be able to see the imagery. Okay, so our aces are all landscapes. So the guidebook tells us nothing about the imagery at all. There's no explanation as to what we're looking at. So it is down to us to actually make our own assumptions. It just gives some keywords really. So the aces, the ace of fire is all about energy, pure creative force, momentum of upward flame, will, courage and fun. And then the three keywords again, excitement, creativity and passion. So it doesn't really help in deciphering the actual images here. So that's up to us to do really. So we've got a very orangey here for fire. Water, I would have expected a little bit more of a different colour for water. Ace, we've got sort of a purple here, and earth. Yeah, so we've got this greenery here and this tree here. They all look very, maybe Japanese. So maybe that's the background to this deck. I am not sure, to be honest. Doos. Wow, there's a goddess there for sure. This figure is so tiny. We've got two massive mushrooms here. Yeah, this seems very otherworldly really, isn't it? I mean, are these mushrooms the right size, and then this person is tiny? Yeah, the perspective is sort of throwing me a little bit, but anyway. Two of air, so we have choices of which path to take there. That I've just noticed, there's a figure here, really dark figure here, just in the feet, because at first glance you just see these two figures, but actually there's a darker figure in between. This is a really interesting deck. And then we've got these two meeting. It looks like there's an exchange going on. This one's got some money here, presumably, to trade for this animal. So a little bit different to what I'm used to with a Rider-Waite-Smith. So the threes, this is amazing contraption here. I wouldn't mind a little ride in that. So yeah, we're used to seeing ships really, aren't we? But here we have a road. Again, we've got the three people coming together, three individuals, but instead of dancing together, they're actually praying, I think. No, tapping into the heart centre for sure. And again, they're very tall. We've got a tree house for the three of air, but the tree house is actually upside down. There's some eggs in a little basket precariously on the side of the cliff there. So you could think of that really as your world being turned upside down, which is synonymous really with the Three of Swords, isn't it? And it's nice to see a different type of image for that energy. And then the collaboration here with the Three of Earth to have made this obelisk. And again, we've got these perspectives. So we've got these figures here and then this giant figure there in the clouds. So we've got a tree house, a house actually within the tree there. And we've got this like chain coming down. So that must be how they get the food up into the tree. It's pretty. Four of water. So the figure is really concentrating here on the dark cloud, even though the sun is trying to come through. The Four of air. So this is about resting or meditating, and it does look like it's in a meditative pose here. But look at the brain. The brain is like a tree. Or is that the lungs? I don't know. Maybe that is the lungs. Four of earth. Oh, whoa, that is quite challenging card. It seems all these pieces of ribbon or whatever they are tied together to allow this one to leave this predicament here that they found themselves in. However, they're doing it by tying it around another person's neck. We've got the coins on the ground here. So according to the guidebook, this is called power. It's Jupiter in Capricorn. The emotional body will cower when placed in a position of power. The head and the heart may turn sour, and deeper the whole will tower. And it's about hoarding, selfishness, and ruthless. That is pretty ruthless, isn't it? Again, climbing on someone else's shoulders in order to get where we want to be. With the 5 of fire. We have desolation here with the 5 of water. The 5 of air. Everyone with their own agenda there. Yeah, again, it looks like a goddess here with human figures underneath. And the 5 of earth. They've fallen over, they have a crutch, they're in the winter landscape as we normally see, and a 5 of pentacles, or 5 of coins here, 5 of earth. However, there's treasure underneath. And the tree's got a face, and it looks really sad. Really sad. Very sad card. Okay, let's get on to our more harmonious 6s. Let's see what we have here. So this looks like a fairy tale. We've got the balloons here. We've got a little balloon floating up in the sky. We've got some garlands, flags. So it's like we're being invited here into a party. 6 of water. Again, we've got the rough here and the smooth there. So we are coming into better times. 6 of air. We're stepping through a portal there. A lovely beach view at the back. And then the 6 of earth, which looks like Noah's Ark. Very much so, actually. Taking the provisions in, possibly. Right, 7s. This is a very unusual deck, but I'm loving it. Stretches the imagination. I'm going to sit with these cards and see where it leads me. Talking of which, on every one of these, there's a path leading up. Isn't that interesting? You see on the 7 of fire here, there's a path leading up to this angel figure. Here is a path leading up. In fact, the steps start to levitate on the 7 of water. And we've got sort of a volcano here. And the 7 of air, it's winding up into this mountain. Again, it looks like there's a face there. Is it me just seeing faces? And then the 7 of earth, we're going through this sort of corridor here. Very welcoming though, by the looks of things. So they all have a female presenting figure on these 8s. That's a very strange 8. Yeah, the number almost looks like a 0. We can really see their elements as well here. Look, this fire here for the 8 of fire, and all this water landscape here for the 8 of water. Air, we've got all these balloons and they're floating up into the air. And then 8 of earth, they're looking out over this landscape and deciding whether to go into this side of the mountain here. This looks very rickety, I must say. But yeah, they're all stepping forward. I'm sorry about the seagulls, they're being very noisy today for some reason. You know what's wound them up? Something's wound them up. Okay, 9s. Again, look, I'm seeing a face. And this looks like an older person because they've got this stick here to support them. They've got this sort of little caravan here and another figure. I'd like to be there. That 9 of water, that bath looks very inviting. It almost looks Parisian, doesn't it? To me, it does anyway. 9 of air, so we've got the nightmare card here and the bats coming through the window. And this figure, oh, doesn't that look like the Darkwood Tarot? This figure here. It's just like the Darkwood Tarot figures. Anyway, 9 of earth, and we're up in the mountains. In the 10 of fire, we're in a beautiful library. Oh, take me there. Oh, we've got the desks and chairs and... oh, that is my ideal living room. Love it. Oh, yes. Look at this chandelier here with the candles on there. And then we've got like a telescope. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I love that. 10 of water. Oh, we've got a portal. So there's a bridge here. And we're invited here into either a mirror or some sort of a portal. stream, it's gorgeous. Ten of Air. And it looks like the tree is, or nature is taken over this man-made structure here. And it's got a book. Oh, look, there's a horseshoe. The old lady who lived in a shoe. It's got a little house on the top. A swing. Ten of Earth. Again, we're going into this amazing landscape here. And it looks like there's a statue there, so maybe that's somewhere where we'd go to pray to a goddess. So instead of pages, we have acolytes. I'm seeing a little Greek mythology here. Well, I think that might be Hephaestus, Hera's son, the god of fire and the forge, possibly. Here we've got a mermaid, the shipwreck there. Acolyte of air. So we've got somebody here who's maybe an artist or an engineer or somebody who is experimenting and trying to see how to make inventions. Yeah, sort of inventing things here. And this, it sort of reminds me of Demeter and Persephone and the goddess of spring, bringing the flowers there to the earth. So the knights, and we have someone, yeah, James Bond-like, travelling through the air here on a rope. I'm presumably going to land there, but it's not looking good, is it, this sea? I mean, look at the bones there. It looks a bit dodgy. We have the Knights of Water. There seems to be a god and goddess here embracing above the land. Pegasus here for the Knight of Air. And then we've got the good old Knight of Earth on a very slow tortoise. So we can really see the different perspectives here of the knights. Wow, these queens are something else, aren't they? Look at them, they are magnificent, absolutely magnificent. I mean, this Queen of Fire is basically fire in feminine form, rising up out of the fire here that's been made in the woods. We've got this cup here with all this fortune underneath the waves. The mermaid. This one obviously in the air and blindfold. Interestingly pointing down and up. So the connection there. And on one leg. Gosh, right in the middle of this plinth. And then the Queen of Earth. Totally in their element there. Yay. And then the kings finally. We do have some directionality in this deck as well, you know, with this king looking this way. He's got a heart in their hands. Interesting. I wonder why. The King of Water is in books. There's growth coming through there. King of Air has got a scroll. It's got 3 scrolls and a Triskele. And then the King of Earth, barefoot, and looks like they mean business. This is a beautiful deck. The cardstock is linen. You can see that. Possibly. And it's one that's going to be so interesting to explore. But yeah, I missed out on the Kickstarter, but I've been lucky enough to actually get this version, so I'm really happy about that. So that was my first impressions of the Journey Tarot. Thank you so much for watching, and until my next video, bye friends, bye.